provided by Thomas Allgaier and Frennes, based on the most relevant posts on LinkedIn about social selling in CW 2930. Frennes is a B2B market research company working with enterprises to optimize their campaigns with account and executive insights far beyond AI. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really going to cut through the noise, bring you the essential trends in social selling. This is all straight from the most impactful LinkedIn posts we saw in calendar weeks 29 and 30.
Yeah, think of it as your shortcut. Understanding the key strategic shifts happening in B2B marketing, like right now.
And it's not just a summary, is it? It's more a curated look at what's genuinely changing, on the front lines of social selling.
That's right. We're seeing honestly, some pretty profound developments in how B2B leaders are thinking about engagement and, crucially, pipeline generation.
So what's the big picture? Thomas Allgaier's analysis really highlighted this common thread, this theme of precision in social selling.
Precision, exactly. It's a move away from just, gut feeling or instinct.
Right, towards using insight to win attention, build that pipeline, and maybe most importantly, scale trust.
Absolutely. It's about being incredibly intentional. And what's interesting is how the leaders in social selling are doubling down. They're using data-driven playbooks, AI-powered tools.
And culture, right.
And crucially, fostering that culture-centric employee advocacy to really achieve that precision. It's a whole system shifting.
Okay, so speaking of advocacy, that's our first big theme, employee advocacy and social enablement.
Yeah.
It feels like companies are finally really getting that their own people are this huge force.
Oh, definitely. It's like turning your whole workforce into this distributed sales and marketing engine. Allie Brenier actually made a great point about this.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
She was saying that getting budgets for these employee advocacy programs, it's finally working when they're tied explicitly to hard business outcomes. Attributable revenue.
So no more fluffy metrics.
Exactly. Moving beyond just brand awareness to actual ROI, that's a massive shift.
Yeah, it really underlines that move from just activity to actual impact. But I wonder, for companies maybe used to tighter control, how hard is it to really empower employees like Eva Buluchova suggests, without feeling like they're losing control of the brand?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Eva Buluchova really emphasized that trust has to replace those rigid scripts. She talked about this freedom and fuel model.
Freedom and fuel.
Yeah, give employees the freedom to be authentic, but also the fuel, the resources, the training, the support. Because tight control, it just backfires. It kills the authenticity you need.
So employees telling their own stories, not just reading lines.
Precisely. It feeds into this idea of repositioning sales teams almost as an extension of marketing. The smart firms are investing heavily in enablement.
Turning every seller into a kind of micro-influencer.
Exactly. Someone who can genuinely connect and add value in their niche.
Okay, so that's the people side. Let's pivot to AI and data-driven acceleration. How is tech refining all this?
Well, this is where things get really exciting, I think. The technology is not just supporting, it's actively shaping strategy.
Yeah, we're seeing some really cool new MarTech popping up, like Billy T's AI Customer Whisperer. That sounds fascinating.
It does, right. The ideal is surfacing real-time intent signals for, much smarter segmentation, more personalized messaging.
And Anastasia Albert at Gentis shared that example, the automated lead framework. Reducing SDR workload, boosting conversions. That's real impact from aligning sales and marketing on lead quality.
And the data itself is challenging some really old assumptions. Jason Bay did this huge analysis, 85 million cold emails.
85 million, wow.
Yeah, and it basically debunks some classic best practices, like asking for time in a cold email. It can slash reply rates by 44%.
44%, that's huge. So our standard can we grab 15 minutes approach might actually be shooting ourselves in the foot.
Pretty much. It pushes you towards value first, problem-solving outreach right from the start. His data also showed offers often beat interest-based CTAs.
Interesting. Any other surprises?
Yeah, for Director Plus roles. Company personalization is 50% more effective than trying to personalize based on individual stuff. They care about their business problems.
Makes sense. It connects to what Andy Lambert observed too, right? That B2B growth now needs community trust on top of AI automation.
Exactly. Finding that balance. Because, as he said, AI is killing the click. You need that credibility layer.
And we're getting more tools for insight, too. Neil Hoyne announced the Google Trends API, deeper market analysis there. And Marian St. Jose gave that practical prompt for Microsoft 365 Copilot.
Right, using AI to prioritize prospects based on financial, organizational, strategic factors. It's about using AI smartly.
Okay, so let's get practical. Theme 3, LinkedIn systems and engagement playbooks. How do you actually do this effectively on LinkedIn day to day?
Well, Carlos Batista talked about building always-on lead engines. It's about creating systems that attract leads even when you're offline, moving from campaigns to systems.
Like a perpetual motion machine for leads.
Sort of. And Eli Gundu suggested a specific rhythm, the 10-3-1 outreach. 10 interactions, 3 value messages, then 1 ask.
That sounds much less aggressive, a gentler path to a conversation.
Exactly. Build connection first. Which ties into what Miles Beth was saying about comment-led visibility being crucial.
So engaging on other people's posts.
Yes. Thoughtful, insightful comments. That's what drives pipeline now, he argues, in these crowded feeds. He mentioned people like Scott Leese, Jason Lumpkin mastering this. David Horbenko echoed it too. Engage first, give value. John Morris was his example.
It sounds simple, being a good participant, but making it efficient. Mike Adam had a tip there, didn't he? Using 3 distinct lists in SalesNav.
Yeah, for really targeted prospecting. And Britta Barron's made a sharp distinction between just passive followers and your active network ties. You need direct engagement for real reach.
And we need to ditch some old myths too, right? Jasminology busted a few.
Totally, like links hurting reach. Nope. Emojis unprofessional. Not necessarily anymore. The platform evolves.
It's funny what sticks versus what actually works. Christian Krause's comparison of the 99% versus the top 1% was striking.
Yeah, that top 1%. Focus on reciprocity, value first, strong personal brand. J.C. Hockley then really nailed it. It's about relationships with the right people, not just broadcasting.
And Melissa Glick drew that line between social selling, the strategy, and just selling on social media, which is more passive.
Right. Graham Riley added, track meaningful metrics. Warm leads, buyer trust, not just vanity likes. And Josh Ramirez stressed, this needs the same rigor as traditional selling. Consistent, high volume, intentional.
Okay, that rigor leads us to theme 4, modern sales methodologies. How are the core frameworks holding up or changing?
Well, some classics are proving resilient, just adapted. Susie Mathieson talked about spin selling still being powerful.
Oh, spin. Still relevant.
Very, but refocused. Less about persuasion, more about discovery-led questioning. People want to discover reasons to act, not just be convinced. Guide them.
Guiding, not pushing. I like that. Bryn Tillman's pre-call planning sounded intense too.
Oh yeah, super comprehensive. Analyzing LinkedIn for mindset, checking websites like a buyer, then using AI for synthesis, SWOT, even guessing DIC profiles. Walking in deeply prepared.
That links to Bilal Batroya's idea too, shifting from convince to sort. Prioritize curiosity, finding the right fit. His mic drop method for cold calls sounds intriguing.
Starting with a shared problem, yeah. Cuts through the usual pitch. And Jerry Sickler's confidence, I do want to sell, but only if it makes sense for you. That honesty builds trust fast.
You need knowledge for that confidence, though. Davide Perucci argued deep product knowledge is paramount.
Absolutely. Even more than likability or asking questions, he argued. You need to know your stuff to solve real problems. Anisha Tijjar offered her DIVE framework.
Define, identify, validate, engage.
Right. Quality-focused prospecting, moving away from just spraying and praying.
It all points to being proactive strategic. Oliver Kerner said, proactive sales, not hope, drives growth. Systematic targeting, consistent outreach.
And Lars Kruger's success story was great, simplifying the cold call offer to the lowest hurdle to get more appointments. Make it easy to say yes.
Then there's the scaling aspect. Manja Perkovic on balancing automation and human touch in SMB sauce.
And Bjorn Schaefer on that pivot from founder-led selling to repeatable sales motions as SaaS companies grow. Big transitions there.
Okay, theme 5 feels critical. Revenue alignment and performance metrics. Getting sales and marketing rowing together and measuring what matters.
Absolutely vital. Cindy Chang Halverson had that fantastic analogy distinguishing ROAS from true ROI.
The ice cream example. Love that. High ROAS, but still losing money overall.
Exactly. You have to look at total profitability, not just ad spend return. It's a wake-up call for focusing on the real bottom line.
And Svetlana Likareva called that sales marketing alignment a superpower, enabling demand gen, avoiding those attribution fights.
When they're aligned, the customer journey is smoother and the business wins. Bertrand Gadillet even argued sales is becoming the new marketing department in some ways.
Because marketing leads are maybe scarcer or less reliable.
That was his point, pushing sales to self-generate more. And Richard Harris really highlighted the tough spot salespeople are often in. Sometimes it's the system, the unrealistic expectations, not the reps themselves.
Which leads us nicely into our final theme, leadership and brand culture. How does the broader organization influence this?
It sets the entire stage. Dane Scotty's analysis of that Kiss Cam scandal was a brilliant case study.
Right, the brand that turned a potential PR disaster around.
Yeah, using agility, humor, cultural fluency, it showed how quickly brands need to respond today and how they can even amplify reach from a potential negative.
And leadership visibility matters hugely too. Tobias Vilmecke emphasized executives engaging, publicly commenting, sharing, coaching.
It sets the tone for a high-trust culture. Their actions speak volumes. Joshua B. Lee then hit on something deep. Authenticity and vulnerability build trust faster than any script.
The human algorithm.
Exactly. People connect with real. Omar Rana talked about building a magnetic brand that pulls leads in naturally through value and consistency.
Rather than chasing them. Keisha Ebbison defined networking, similarly, creating sustained connections through giving, her 3-touch rule, connecting widely.
And Matt Wong's take. Trust is the ultimate moat in B2B. Founder-led content, he argues, is B2B's influencer marketing.
Because who better to build that trust? Joe Stapleton and Insha Manzoor Khan also push personal branding over ads. Go niche, earn attention.
Build a legacy, not just noise. Lena, a.k.a. observed LinkedIn itself changing, becoming more about emotional expression, personal growth through storytelling. Makes you think about sincerity.
Yeah, and Geeta Rautela found her lowest performing posts brought the highest opportunities, measuring impact over vanity engagement.
Which connects to Marcus Chan talking about a trust recession. Buyers fear making the wrong choice, leading to no decision. So education and insight are critical.
And Gary Vaynerchuk brings it back to basics. Sales is about attention. Understand where your audience spends their time.
Simple, but profound.
Okay, let's try and unpack this a bit for everyone listening. We've seen that social selling, looking towards 2025, it isn't just about doing more on LinkedIn, is it?
Not at all. It feels like a fundamental shift, a redefinition of trust and relationships in the B2B space.
It's about building a system, building a brand that attracts opportunities almost passively, even when you're not actively selling in that old traditional sense.
So the question for you listening is, what opportunities does this new reality open up? How might you approach connecting with your audience differently now? How can you build your own strategic presence in this evolving landscape?
If you enjoyed this deep dive, new episodes drop every 2 weeks. Also check out our other editions on account-based marketing, field marketing, channel marketing, MarTech, go-to-market, and AI in B2B marketing.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next one.